Hello, children. Welcome to today's class. Today, in our creative writing class, we will be looking at letter writing, informal letter. We're going to look at the meaning and the features of informal letter writing. At the end of this class, you will be able to explain the meaning of an informal letter. Identify at least two features of an informal letter. Write a layout of an informal letter. Now, the keywords in today's class are communication, information, message. It's important for us to know that letter writing is a means of communication. It's a means of sending information. It has to do with message. Okay? Do not forget to click on the video link to watch the video on this topic. First thing which we will look at is to understand the meaning of a letter. A letter is a message that is written down on a paper and usually put in an envelope and sent to somebody. Keywords here: message, written down. But at times, you can send a letter through mail. You can mail someone, you can use your email. So it's not always put in an envelope because we have email. That's why we have the key with the word here, usually. Sometimes, often put in an envelope, but you can also send a letter through your email. It's a means of communication. Communication is very important and it plays a vital role in the society. So, what it means is that communication is very important. It's important for you to develop your communication skills in order for you to be effective in the society and make a great impact. Okay, there are three types of letters. We have the informal letter writing, semi-formal letter writing, and formal letter writing. But our focus today is on informal letter writing. Okay, what then is an informal letter? An informal letter can be called friendly letter or personal letter. It is a letter written to someone close to the writer. Okay, for an instance, a letter to a friend, a family member. So it's friendly, it's a personal letter written by someone to another person, to the receiver who is close to the writer or to the sender of the letter. Features of an informal letter. Important for us, it's very important for us to note the features of an informal letter so that when you're writing an informal letter, you know what to write. When you're writing a formal letter, you know. The first thing you need to understand is there's always an address, the writer's address. Okay? The person writing the letter must always write his address. The address is placed at the upper right hand corner of your paper. The date comes after the address. We're going to take the address, the date, how to write them. But first, let's look at the general features. Then after the address and the date, you have what we call salutation, opening greeting. This now depends on the personal relationship. For an instance, writing a letter to your sister, dear sister, writing to my friend, hello Zainab, writing to my dad, dear dad or dear mom. Or even to my friend, I can say dear Latisha or my dear Latisha. Then you have the body of the letter before you come to what we call the closing or subscription. It is important to note that you can close a friendly letter with any of the following: yours sincerely, sincerely yours, yours ever, affectionately yours. your friend with love from, best wishes from. But yours sincerely is the most acceptable way of closing an informal letter. Yours sincerely is the most acceptable from all these ones. Sincerely yours, yours ever, affectionately yours, your friend with love from, best wishes from. So we're going to consider yours sincerely. Now we're going to look at the format. This is your paper. Now look at the sender's address. Under the address you have the date. After the date you have the opening greeting. Then you have the body of the letter containing paragraphs. Before you have the closing, the subscription. Take a look at it again. Look at them, starting from the sender's address, the date, the opening greeting, body of the letter, subscriptions, or closing. So that's how you're going to place your letter when you want to write. We first we take the address. How do you write the address? This is the address of the sender, and it appears on the right hand side of the letter. So the writer of the letter will write his address. You have what we call open block. We also have what we call closed block. Now in open block, you don't use punctuation marks at all. The first line is where your house is located. Your house number. My house number is G187 Route 41 and it's located where? Victoria Garden City in Ajah, Lagos State. Before we look at the date, I want you to look at the open block system of writing address. Now you will observe that there's no punctuation mark. Okay? Now for the address, it's important also for us to learn how to write the address. 20th April 2016. You can also have it as April 20, 2016. Please, the TH must be on the same line with the date. If it is on top, that means that you're saying 20th position, April 2016. Then let's look at the closed block. The closed block has punctuation marks. Now the first one is your house number, G187 Road 41, comma, Victoria Garden City, comma, Ajah, comma, Lagos. You put the full stop. Now the full stop is put or written at the last geographical location. So Lagos here is the last geographical location. We put full stop. Then also the date. Please, there's no full stop at the end of the date. Writing the date, you don't put full stop. Now let's compare the two open block and the closed block. You will find out that open block doesn't have any punctuation mark, while closed block has punctuation mark, it has comma, and it has full stop. After the date, you have the salutation, which is also called the opening greetings. How do you greet? Now, you have this example, dear Ifani, or my dear Ifani. Now, the D in there must be the first one, dear Ifani. The D must be in capital letter. The I must also be in capital letter. Or you can start it this way, my dear Ifani. Now, when you have my dear Ifani, the D will change to small letter. The same thing, dear father, the D capital letter, the F, capital letter. My dear father, the D will be small letter and the F will be in capital letter. The closing greetings, you have a complimentary should be used to end an informal letter. There should be a way of ending an informal letter. And we said before that we have different ways, but the acceptable one we are going to use, the most acceptable, is yours sincerely. Okay, the Y is in capital, the X is a small letter, then after that you have comma. So let's demonstrate what we just said. The address of the sender or the writer is G187 Route 41, Victoria Garden City, Ajah, Lagos. So we are using the closed block format in our letter, in writing our address. Please look at it very well because you're going to write your own. Okay, so you can see that from the G, the house number, V in Victoria Garden City, they are on the same line. So it's not slanting. That's why it's called block. And then you have L under Aja A. And the date 5th is under L. So everything is straight. And like I said before, you do not put full stop at the end of the date. Now, the salutation, dear Charles. Look at it. After the dear Charles, there's a comma. So always pay attention to that. You have the body of the letter before you have the closing, which is yours sincerely. The Y in yours is capital letter. The S in sincerely is small letter. Before you put your comma and write your name. Don't forget you don't write your full name because he is your friend. Yes, it's a friendly letter. It's a personal letter, so the person knows the writer very well. Okay, children, so now it's time for us to do our classwork. But before then, I would like to remind you of the video link again. Click on the video link to watch the video on letter writing. Okay, so do not forget that letter writing, an informal letter writing, it's a letter written by a writer to someone who is close to him. It's also known as friendly letter or personal letter. And do not forget the address, the date, the salutation, then the body of the letter before you have the closing. And we said in this class that the most acceptable way of closing an informal letter is yours sincerely. Pay attention to the Y in yours. It's in capital letter and the X in sincerely it's in small letter. Do not forget to put comma and write your name. Do not write your name in full. Do not write your surname. Okay. Then after that, after watching the video, it's time for you to do your classwork. So click on the worksheet and you use the worksheet to write a layout of a letter to your friend in Abuja. Remember to write your address, very important, your house number, where your house is located, then the date, the salutation. Remember you're writing to your friend. Dear Chisom, I don't know your friend, but Chisom is my own friend, so you write your friend for me. And the closing. Please do not write the body of the letter, okay? Because what we're doing is the layout. The next class, we're going to learn how to write the body of the letter. So till I see you next week. Bye.